A beautiful day in Boston, a great day to be on the Charles and inside Fenway Park. Today is the middle game of the three-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, no doubt, last night a dreadful loss for the Red Sox, trying to bounce back today, and they send Clay Buchholz to the hill.
Well, that was really ugly last night, and it's always tough to bounce back from a game like that. But if you're going to look to a pitcher to do that, it's Clay Buchholz, because he's done it so far this season. We look at the numbers following a Red Sox loss this year in 6 starts, a 2.83 ERA. Over his last 5 now, he is 1-2 with a 2.29, and career against the Blue Jays 12-9 in his career. And you know, he sat in that dugout and he watched last night this Toronto ball club. We talked about how good their offense was. Buchholz is really going to have to be on top of his game today to try to shut down this ball club.
And today the Red Sox have to deal with the knuckleballer and R.A. Dickey on the hill for the Jays. The Red Sox and Blue Jays are coming your way next. For deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. Nissan, get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop, choose Nissan today. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Back at Fenway Park, a warm day here at the Fens, where the Red Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Red Sox have taken the field, so check out the Toronto Blue Jays starting 9. Their lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jose Reyes at shortstop leads it off with Josh Donaldson at third base. Jose Bautista back in right field with Edwin Encarnacion, the DH. Chris Colabello in left field with Russell Martin doing the catching. Justin Smoke is at first base with Kevin Pillar in center field, and Ryan Goins at second base rounds out the starting 9 for the Blue Jays. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Clay Buchholz makes his 13th start of the year. Comes in at 3-6 with a 4.07 earned run average. 74 strikeouts to 20 walks. And opponents hitting at 263 against Buchholz. A no decision last time out against the Oakland A's. That was here at Fenway as well. 4 2/3. Scattered 10 hits and gave up 4 runs.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they are 9th in the American League with 37 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Brock Holt the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Rusney Castillo, and Alejandro Diaza. And Sandy Leon doing the catching for Buchholz.
Well, the umpiring crew, Brian Onora has the plate to calling the balls and strikes today. Alan Porter at first, Mark Rippinger at second, Jeff Kellogg is at third. Today's umpires brought to you by Buick. Experience the new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Very comfortable conditions here today. 71 degrees with a breeze in from right field at 9 miles per hour. And the forecast partly cloudy for the remainder of the day. Plenty of sunshine right now, plenty of blue skies. And Clay Buchholz ready to get it started here this afternoon with Jose Reyes digging in for the Blue Jays. Plate umpire Brian Onora out there wants, I think, the baseball from Clay Buchholz. Not sure what that was about, but he checked it out pretty well there before giving it back to Buchholz. Jose Reyes standing in, hitting at .300 with 2 homers and 19 runs batted in. Jumping on that first pitch and fouling it out to the left, out of play.
Well, Buchholz has faced the Blue Jays twice so far this season. He's 1-1 against Toronto with an ERA that stands at 7.
And on the grass at third is Pablo Sandoval. Reyes slashing at it, fouling it back at 93-mile-an-hour fastball. June has been good for Reyes in the last 10 games, a .341 average. 2 homers, 9 runs batted in, and his team, the Blue Jays, have won 9 of those 10 games. Reyes, then Donaldson and Bautista here in the first inning. Fly ball popped up in a shallow center. It's Bogart's backpedaling. He'll give way to Castillo, and Rusney makes the catch. One down here in the first inning, and it brings up Josh Donaldson. .322, 17 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Starts the day 5th in the league in batting average, 3rd in home runs, 1st in RBIs. 2nd in multi-hit games, only behind Prince Fielder. League leader in home runs, Mike Trout with 18. And Prince leading the league in batting average, hitting at .346. A great first season here for Donaldson with the Blue Jays. And a swing and a miss.
Good cut fastball that time from Buchholz to run the count to 1-1. And they see a little cut right at the end of that pitch. You can see the spin on it.
Clay has been starting at home a lot lately for the Red Sox. 13th start, his 7th at Fenway. His 3rd consecutive start here at Fenway Park. He's gone 1-1 in the last 3 starts here at Fenway. And look at the 5-game hitting streak for Donaldson coming in. Great day to be at the yard. Swing and a miss. Donaldson chasing the high fastball. First strikeout of the day for Buchholz. 2 down.
And both outs for Clay in the first inning coming on the fastball. The fly ball of the outfield now. A high fastball up and in to Donaldson to pick up the strikeout. Last time out for Clay had 4 strikeouts in 4 2/3 against Oakland. Strikeout high in the season is 11. He did that against Seattle.
2 down for Jose Bautista, hitting at .253, 11 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Last win for Buchholz against the Minnesota Twins back on June 2nd. 8 shutout innings for Clay. Grabbing that inside corner that time. See the hit distribution for Jose Bautista, pulling a great deal. Two and one now to Bautista with Edwin Encarnacion waiting on deck.
Bautista, a .264 hitter against Buchholz with 1 home run in his career against Clay.
Fooled him badly on the breaking ball for strike 2.
That's a hard curveball that time from Buchholz. Usually doesn't seem to throw it that hard, and this one's directly at Bautista and picks up the inside corner. And Bautista jumping back from home plate.
Fly ball struck well to center field. Rusney Castillo going back to the warning track to haul this in. A 1-2-3 first for Clay Buchholz. The Red Sox are coming up. And Blue Jays playing to the bottom of the first inning. It's a good looking sign there. A lot of people involved also. R.A. Dickey on the mound today. Lineup is brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. His numbers, his 13th start of the year, 2-6 with a 5.35 earned run average. 46 strikeouts, 28 walks. Opponents hitting at .259.
R.A. Dickey, of course, a knuckleball pitcher that throws the knuckleball hard. You see the numbers in 2015 against the Red Sox. 0-2, 6.92 ERA.
Dustin Pedroia leading off, hitting at .308 with 9 homers and 26 runs batted in. On the ground up the middle, ranging his Goins. In time to get Pedroia for the first out of the bottom of the first. And the lineup is brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers for the Red Sox. It is Pedroia at second base with Brock Holt at first. Hanley Ramirez in left field bats third with David Ortiz, the DH. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop with Pablo Sandoval at third base. Alejandro De Aza in right field with Rusney Castillo in center. And Sandy Leon does the catching and bats ninth. One down for Brock Holt, sliding over to the first base spot. Mike Napoli off today, and looks as if Mike could use a day off. And I guess the question, Jerry, is really, will it be one day, or perhaps we'll see a day or two, the way that John Farrell has done some things recently?
Yeah, John was non-committal about that this morning when asked about it. And, you know, he's done that in the past with Sandoval. He's done it with Ortiz, where he's given him back-to-back days off. And we'll see if that's the case with Napoli.
On the ground, foul. Sounded like a broken bat and was.
It's interesting. You look at R.A. Dickey, high 70s, low 80s with a knuckleball. We had one the other night at 48 miles an hour from Stephen Wright. Remember that one?
Yes. Sprays it foul off to the left, still 0-2. Blue Jays in the midst of a 5-game road trip. 3 games here in Boston. Then they will go to Citi Field in New York to take on the Mets for 2. John Gibbons' team has now won 9 straight games. 2 games over 500, and they were able to gain a game last night. Now 2 games back of the Yankees. 8th season in 2 different stints as the Blue Jays manager. Swing and a miss, and Brock Holt strikes out 2 down in the first inning.
The Blue Jays defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 6th in the league with 33 errors on the season. Josh Donaldson will be at third base. Jose Reyes, the shortstop. Ryan Goins at second, and Justin Smoke, the first baseman. Left to right, Chris Colabello, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Batista, and Russell Martin doing the catching. How can I mess up a local guy's name?
How about that?
That's awful. That's pathetic.
2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Hanley Ramirez, 272, 13 homers, 32 runs batted in. And back in the Red Sox lineup again, and been nursing a hamstring problem and a foul tip that took place off his knee.
My deepest apologies to the Caballero. Oh boy. Calabellos.
High in the air to left field. Colabello is at the base of the track and onto it to make the catch that ends the inning. Hanley gets underneath that. Red Sox down in order. Done with 1 without a score. Should there be more MLB teams in Canada? Text 1 for yes. Text 2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy.
I say yes.
I'm going to say yes as well, and I'm hoping Montreal can come back.
I'm going to tell you 2 places that I think could have it. Montreal and Vancouver.
Very nice. Put them in the West.
Yeah.
This is lined into left field for a hit for Encarnacion. Back to plate is Hanley Ramirez. He'll get it back in. Encarnacion will throw the brakes on and throw to first. Has him scampering back to the bag. So Ramirez gets it in. Encarnacion stops, and then Pedroia alertly throwing to first, trying to nab him there.
That's now a 6-game hitting streak for Encarnacion. Came into the game only a 188 hitter against Buchholz, but right down that left field line. And by the time Hanley gets over and plays that nice hop off the wall, a little bit of slip right there, but that's going to hold Encarnacion. He really took a big turn around first base thinking about a double, but is held to a single.
Now the updated numbers on a 6-game hitting streak for Encarnacion. Lead runner on for the Blue Jays here in the second. Chris Colabello made the catch to end last inning. A curveball in there for strike one. Colabello in the last 34 games since joining the Blue Jays, hitting at .336. 45 for his last 134 games, and become a regular now for the Blue Jays. Couple seasons with the Minnesota Twins. Quick check on Encarnacion, whose lead was very small. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with a fastball. 0-2.
Pretty good life on that fastball here early for Buchholz. 92 that time.
Colabello's been good in both situations, but better with runners on at .386. At one point this year he had an 18-game hitting streak. Very high, and not chasing that is Colabello. Well, pretty much everybody in the Blue Jays lineup can take you deep, which is always a concern. They are third in the American League coming in home runs this season. They have 76 as a team. Houston Astros leading with 83, and then the Yankees with 77. Colabello fouls it off to the right out of play.
Yeah, if you watched the game last night, we gave you numbers on the Blue Jays, a unique offense, an offense that can hit home runs. They can hit for average. They sacrifice a lot. They can steal bases. They can do just about everything.
And their pitching has been so much better lately, especially the starting pitching, going deeper into games. The bullpen not as taxed, and they have put together this run of 9 straight wins and find themselves 2 games back of the Yankees to start the day. Last night, of course, getting down 8-1 in the game before coming back to win. Red Sox find themselves 7 games back of the Yankees. 1-2 to Colabello. On the ground and diving is Bogaerts. His throw will be late to second base, but a good bid. He did it from his backside as he was rolling to the outfield grass.
Yeah, the problem there is, I mean, he got to it, and it was amazing that he was able to get to this ball, but he couldn't get the ball out of his glove. He goes in to reach for it right here, and he can't get a handle on it right away, and that causes that soft throw to second base, and then Encarnacion beats it. But a nice effort here by Xander Bogaerts, showing some range to his right.
So 2 on here for the Blue Jays. Nobody out in the second inning, and it brings up Russell Martin. .272, 9 homers and 31 runs batted in for Martin. Well, in the 7th inning, this bases clearing triple out to right center field in the triangle. They cleared the bases. This would make it 11-8 last night. Only 3 runs that put the Blue Jays on top in the game, and a big hit as there were many as part of the come from behind victory for the Jays. Ground ball by the dive of Sandoval at third base, and the bases will be loaded. They stop Encarnacion at third, just out of the reach of Sandoval. 3 straight hits now for Toronto.
Tell you, Russell Martin wears out Clay Buchholz. He came into the game a .313 hitter against Buchholz with 4 home runs, and quickly shoots this by the dive of Pablo Sandoval at third base. One step to his left, the dive, can't get it. And with nobody out, they're not going to take any chances by sending the runner, so they have the bases loaded with nobody out in the inning.
I mentioned the numbers. Here are the updated numbers for Russell Martin against Clay Buchholz. Now Clay trying to minimize the damage here in the second inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. Here's Justin Smoak. 275, 5 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Rolls it over, foul.
Red Sox obviously at this stage of the ball game playing back at second and short, trying to get a double play and minimize the damage here in the second inning.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Change up by Buchholz, keeping that off-speed pitch away, down and away from Smoak. See Smoak out on that front foot, the big swing right there.
Smoak with a triple and a home run as part of a big night last night. That's here. The bases loaded, nobody out. The Blue Jays second inning. Close pitch, called the ball.
Tried that 2-seam, of the one he throws inside the left-handers in hopes that it comes back to the inside corner. That time just missing.
Straightens him up and evens it up now, 2-2. Single by Encarnacion to left. Chris Colabello with the infield hit to short, and then Russell Martin with a single to left as the base is loaded with nobody out. Buchholz could use something here that does not include contact. Outside, full count.
Tried to get him to chase that changeup again, but that time too far outside.
Smoke now, Pilar waiting on deck. Jays threatening here in the second inning. Strike 3 call. That grabs the corner barely, and Smoke asking about it on the way by. Huge strikeout for Buchholz, his second of the day.
That's a little bit of a gift for Clay Buchholz of the Red Sox right there. It's a cut fastball that apparently just barely picks up the outside corner. We'll see on the Amica pitch zone where this pitch is, and it looked like it was a little bit down and away, but certainly Buchholz and the Red Sox will take that.
Second strikeout up there. You got Donaldson in the first. He gets Smoke here in the second, and now here's Kevin Pilar. .244 to start the day for Pilar. 4 homers and 27 runs batted in. Last 13 games, he's been hitting at a cool .356. 16 for his last 45. Laced foul into the seats. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Garrett Austin from Fenway Park. It is game 2, the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, and Blue Jays winning game 1 of the series last night and threatening here in game 2. Had the bases loaded with nobody out. There's now one out with the bases loaded, and out to the mound went Sandy Leon to talk to Clay Buchholz. Taxing inning here for Clay Buchholz early in his outing. Line to left and in for a base hit. Encarnacion from third. Colabello will be stopped at third. And the Blue Jays strike first and take a 1-0 lead. An RBI single for Kevin Pillar.
Well, Buchholz had thrown a couple of changeups that were very good. They were down and away, but this changeup stays upstairs. There you see the changeup grip, and it's right about belt high. And Pillar hits it hard into left field. Only one run's going to be able to score because by the time Ramirez had that ball, the base runner was not even at third base yet.
One out, bases filled with Blue Jays, and here is Ryan Goins, a number 9 man. In on the hands, and he sends it into center field for a hit. Colabello scores. Russell Martin's going to try and score. The throw is cut off, knocked away, and another run is in, and total of 3 runs now for the Jays. A 2-run single. Taking second on the throw is Ryan Goins, and the Jays out to the 3-0 advantage.
Now Goins has something going against Clay Buchholz. 4-12. Coming into the game, and he jumps on the first pitch right there. Looked like a cut fastball from Buchholz right up the middle. 2 runs come across, and well, the Jays, they just keep scoring. They are hot right now.
In the bottom of the order doing some damage here. Pillar driving in a run, the number 8 hitter, and Ryan Goins, the number 9 hitter, driving in 2. As Carl Willis to the mound to talk to Buchholz. Here's Jose Reyes with runners at second and third. And a pitch up and away. Reyes flied out to the center fielder. His first time up. 6 hits in his last 10 at bats with runners in scoring position. He's got 2 out there right now. Two and 0. Came off the DL on May the 25th, and since coming off the DL, hitting at .343. It's a tough time staying healthy in a Blue Jays uniform. Little pop up to shortstop. Xander Bogaerts is there, just about equidistant between second and third. 2 down. So that'll bring up Josh Donaldson. Again, Leon out to the mound to talk to Buchholz. This will be the 8th batter of the inning for Toronto. Now, through Sunday, June 14th, fans are invited to bring new and used baseball and softball equipment to Fenway Park to donate to Kids Gear for Baseball. Donors will have the opportunity to win autographed memorabilia and other prizes. Donaldson, a strikeout victim in the first inning. 1 of 2 Ks for Clay Buchholz on the day. Grounded to short. Bogaerts is there. His throw in plenty of time, but the damage done. Blue Jays scored 3 times in the second and take a 3-0 lead. Highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary and their 63rd game of the 75 season. Red Sox beat the Orioles 5-1. El Tiante struck out 12 and got the win for the Sox. 3-0 Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox today with 3 runs in the top half of the second inning. David Ortiz and Bogarts. Pablo Sandoval here in the inning. Shifting here for the Blue Jays, and Ryan Goins in short right field. They bring Jose Reyes to the right side of the infield. We'll drop in there for a strike.
Very deep in the outfield. Batista, Pilar, and Chris. Very deep.
In the air to shallow right. It's a second baseman, Ryan Goins, who is out there for the first out of the second inning. Let's check in with Garen.
Hey, thanks, Don. Yesterday, knuckleballers Stephen Wright and R.A. Dickey were having a conversation on the field, and I had a chance to talk with Dickey, and he told me that although their styles are very different, they're fundamentally the same thing. He told me they have a lot of conversations about the mental aspect of throwing the knuckleball because it takes a lot of confidence to get on the mound and throw a 70-mile-per-hour pitch to some of the best hitters on the field. In the game. He also told me that he and Stephen Wright are very similar, and that he learned a lot from Tim Wakefield, and it makes him feel really good to see him carry on the knuckleball. And Don, Dickey said that he thinks that baseball would be very boring without the knuckleball.
Now, Tim Wakefield would feel the same way, but it is a very tight-knit fraternity because there are so few. I remember so many conversations over the years with R.A. Dickey and Tim Wakefield talking before games. This one fouled off to the right. Very few people that can really kind of understand and be able to be helpful in that area.
I used to always ask Wake, what could a pitching coach possibly help you with when he comes to the mound? He said, well, there were different trigger points, I have in my delivery that he would be able to pick up that I was maybe not doing. There's a fastball there by Dickey for a strikeout.
Seemed to surprise Bogarts. Second strikeout for Dickey. 2 down.
After a couple of knuckleballs to Bogarts, he goes to that fastball down and away at 81 miles an hour to pick up the strikeout.
So 2 down here in the second. Brings up Pablo Sandoval. To get his 6th home run of the year last night. It was part of an 8-run attack for the Red Sox at the time, who would lead 8-1, and things were sailing right along. Time for our Lowe's Never Stop Improving profile. After struggling against the Blue Jays in 6 games with the Giants, Pablo Sandoval has a .407 average, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs against the Jays in 7 games as a member of the Red Sox. Much better results in a Red Sox uniform, and certainly a good thing with as many times as the Red Sox and Jays will see each other in the season series. Down the left field line, and it is going to be a fair ball. Bangs around in the corner. Sandoval's headed for 2. Little bobble by Colabello, and Sandoval at second base with the first Red Sox hit of the day.
Sandoval certainly seeing plenty of R.A. Dickey in the National League. Extends a hitting streak now to 4 games. There's a knuckleball going away from Sandoval, and he takes it right down to that left field corner. Good head discipline that time by Sandoval on the knuckleball, and is able to keep it in fair territory just barely for the 2-base hit.
So 2 down, Sandoval at second base, and here is Alejandro De Aza getting the start in right field. John Farrell talking about him before the game today, his ability to play all 3 outfield positions, certainly making him an asset right now. And his combined numbers between the Baltimore Orioles and the Red Sox this year. Red Sox saw plenty of him in the past with the White Sox. This will get away, and Sandoval will take third base.
This may go as a pass ball. We'll see. It certainly gets a little bit of the glove of Russell Martin, although that knuckleball was breaking back down and in.
It is a pass ball. Framed there by Martin. There's a strike, 3-1. The fastball at 80 miles an hour. Ortiz popped out. Bogart struck out. Sandoval with a double. Pass ball gets him to third. De Aza may have offered. They're going to check. He did. So it is a full count now. Jeff Kellogg said he went.
Anytime that bat starts, they will just about automatically always check to see if there's a swing, and that time it looked like there was a swing.
De Aza hits it on the ground to second. Ryan Goins takes care of that, and the Red Sox do not score. Through two, the Jays have a 3-0 lead. Date in 1988. Jim Rice hit his 200th career home run at Fenway Park. Doing so, Rice joined Ted Williams and Carl Yastrzemski as the only Sox players to hit 200 or more home runs at Fenway. 3-0. Blue Jays have the lead. Clay Buchholz back on the mound, and breaking ball into Jose Bautista leads it off here. Fly down to center field in the first inning. 0 for 1. The Jays doing all of their damage as part of this second inning. Drills this foul out ahead and right out of Fenway. Nothing like getting some good balloon animals at the ballpark.
Nothing like a good balloon.
Well, Bautista is sending it foul down the right field line, out of play. On deck is Edwin Encarnacion, then Chris Colabello. 3, 4, and 5 for the Blue Jays here in the third inning. Line and caught at first base by Brock Holt. He was in a perfect spot as it turned out. Still had to lunge and dive and made the catch.
We've seen Napoli. Now we see Holt way off that first base line with Bautista at the plate, and he takes a base hit away from him. Look at Bautista. He can't believe where Holt's playing and that he makes that catch on the line drive.
So one down, Edwin Encarnacion, who singled to left field and scored. Colts gets the strike over there and jumps ahead. Encarnacion, the DH, had to play there for a while when Bautista was injured with his shoulder, and Encarnacion then had to play a lot of first base, with the DH spot being taken up by Bautista while he was on the mend. But now back in right field on a regular basis, and Encarnacion can be the DH. And they can also move Justin Smoke now into the lineup at first base. Smoke was on the bench for a lot of that time period. There's a pop-up on the left side, has Sandoval running into foul ground. The catcher, Leon, didn't see it. And now they're going to collide, and neither's going to catch it. So Leon didn't see it, and then he ends up being in the way.
Yeah, that's Sandoval's ball. There's no question about that. He has priority over a catcher. And if he was calling for it, that means that Leon's going to get out of the way. There's Sandoval chasing it. Let's see if he calls for it. I don't see anything yet. And there's the collision. So Leon, he keeps going. He's waiting to hear something. He doesn't hear anything. Then they have the collision and drop the baseball.
They're charged to Leon on the play. Gives Encarnacion another chance, and he'll foul it off to the right out of play. Boston-based daily fantasy company DraftKings.com is giving you $300 million in cash prizes. Enter promo code NESSON to play for free. Can't give the Blue Jays too many extra opportunities. Outside for ball 2. Chris Colabello waiting on deck. Jays batting here in the top of the 3rd inning. Breaking ball that is fouled at the plate. Not a curveball so far from Buchholz early.
You've got to throw your whole arsenal of this lineup. I mean, you got to hope that you got a command of all your pitches. And of course, with Buchholz, that's the fastball, the cut fastball, the curveball, the changeup. You don't have all your weapons against this lineup. You're going to be in big trouble. Going away with the fastball.
Too far away, full count. Encarnacion will see an 8th pitch in this at bat. Second full count on the day for Buchholz. They really move Rusney Castillo well into right center field. Big gap out there in left center field for Encarnacion. And a foul back and out of play. Wrap foul towards the end of the Blue Jays dugout. And at bat here by Edwin Encarnacion, battling Clay Buchholz. With one out, given an extra chance on a miscue, charged to the Red Sox catcher on a pop-up in foul ground. Here's pitch 10. And he gets him. Encarnacion strikes out. So Buchholz wins the battle and picks up his 3rd K of the day.
Yeah, long battle that time, and a good battle between Encarnacion and Buchholz. And Buchholz will beat him with a fastball to the outside part of the plate. It's one of the reasons you saw the outfield shift to the opposite field. Most pitches after that were away from Encarnacion.
Now 2 down in the 3rd for Chris Colabello. Singled in the infield in the 2nd inning, came around to score the 2nd Blue Jays run. And tried to hold up there. I think he went. He did, says Alan Porter. First base umpire. Chris Colabello, 31 years of age, born in Framingham, Massachusetts. Resides in Milford, Mass. during the offseason. Graduate of Milford High School. Attended Assumption College in Worcester, Mass. Graduated in 2005. From an athletic family, his dad Lou Colabello played for Italy in the 1984 Olympics. Trying to hold up. Good pitch out and away. 0-2.
Big cut on that fastball that time from Buchholz. Almost acting like a slider going down and away that time.
On the ground, back to Buchholz. All twisted up there, was able to reach back and grab it. Nice play by Clay. Gets Colabello and ends the inning. Hopefully he's all right. 3-0 Blue Jays. Can power your home for less too. Visit GulfElectricity.com today. Red Sox coming to bat in the bottom of the third inning, trailing 3-0, being out hit by the Blue Jays 5-1. A 9-1 featured for the Red Sox. Rusney Castillo, Sandy Leon, and Dustin Pedroia. Rusney at 263 on the home run, 5 runs batted in, and he'll take strike one. Knuckleball making its way right down the middle, as it turns out. Line foul towards the tarp area. One hit for the Red Sox, a double by Pablo Sandoval in the second inning. Dickey lasting deeply into games. 6+ innings in 27 of his last 32 outings. Swinging a foul tip.
Now Mookie Betts, we don't know how long he's going to be out of the Red Sox lineup, but hurting his back last night as he made that fabulous attempt, I should say, out near the Red Sox bullpen, and had to leave the game after taking a couple of swings with his bat on the on-deck circle.
Fly ball out towards right center field. Struck well, sending Bautista back at the wall. And he makes the catch against the wall. Robs Castillo of a home run. Jose Bautista in right up against the bullpen.
Well, Bautista's been playing a great right field. He has not made an error out there so far this season. And right here, looks like he takes a home run away from Castillo. What concentration as he goes up against that wall, takes a peek, looks how much room he's got to go, and then the leap and the catch. Dickey loves it. Red Sox frustrated.
So Rusney Castillo makes a bid, but robbed by Jose Bautista. Now Sandy Leon will take a strike. 180 hitter in a Red Sox uniform. No homers and 2 runs batted in. Popped up. The shortstop Reyes directly behind second base. Now coming over is Goins, and Goins will make the catch on the dirt of the infield. 2 down. Red Sox suites and premium packages provide a VIP experience for you and your guests. Call 877 Red Sox 9 or email premiumsales@redsox.com for more information. 2 outs in the third, top of the order, and now second time through for the Red Sox against R.A. Dickey. Pedroia grounded out to Ryan Goins at second base in the first inning. Down in the count, 0-2. Pedroia now, the inning continues. Brock Holt waiting on deck. Down the line at third, but foul. Today, R.A. Dickey making his third start of 2015 against the Red Sox, having lost both previous starts, allowing 3 homers in 13 innings pitched. Prior to this year, he had won 4 straight decisions, going 4-0. 5 starts against Boston last year. There's a pop-up. Justin Smoke into foul ground, battling the sun, makes the catch. It ends the inning. We're heading to the 4th with the Blue Jays on top 3-0. checking account. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. A beautiful day today in the Back Bay of Boston, where the Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead over the Red Sox. Russell Martin leading it off for the Jays. 5 in a row retired by Clay Buchholz as he starts the 4th inning. Martin has one of the Blue Jays' 5 hits. He singled to left and scored a run. Martin didn't think it was a strike, but finds himself in the hole, 0-2.
Takes a look back at Brian Honora, the home plate umpire, on that cut fastball he thought was away.
Flared foul off to the right, out of play. Justin Smoak waiting on deck, then Kevin Pillar. 6, 7, and 8 for the Blue Jays. And the slip there, and that one skipping in. Buchholz with a career 3.42 earned run average against Toronto. Today giving up 3 runs, all coming in 1 inning in the 2nd inning. Martin with a foul tip held onto for strike 3. Leon able to hold onto it. 4 strikeouts for Buchholz. Let's check back in with Garen.
Hey, Don, today the Red Sox were hosting free skin cancer screenings for fans attending the game as part of MLB's Play Skin Smart campaign. Fans were able to get screened in the Champions Club from noon up until the 7th inning, and they get to take home free samples of Banana Boat sunscreen, the official sunscreen of the Red Sox. Don, Jerry, this is a great opportunity for fans to get checked out.
Yeah, it's certainly an initiative of Major League Baseball over the years as well. Fans certainly exposed to sunshine, as are the players all season long, of course, during the hot summer. 1 out here in the 4th inning, and Justin Smoak grounding 1 foul.
Something you should have done, Don. You're a kind of a sun goddess, and you like to be out there near the pool, near the ocean. You get your checkup, right?
Absolutely.
Good.
Every year I get checked out, even sooner than that sometimes.
What do you mean, sooner than every year?
Well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you feel like, you should go in more than once a year. You get those free checkups at the ballpark on occasion.
Mm-hmm. I've done it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the players do too.
Sure.
As exposure to sun here at the ballpark during the course of 162 games during the summer, but a great program for the fans. Opportunity for them to get checked out as well. And they are today at Fenway Park. 60th pitch. Here's a swing and a miss, and back-to-back strikeouts for Clay Buchholz. 2 down in the 4th inning.
Curveball that time from Buchholz to pick up the strikeout. Starts it outside and picks up the outside corner with it, down and away, and you get the swing and miss from Smoak. So he has struck out twice today against Clay.
Make insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. Yeah, second time Smoak down by way of the K. 2 down here in the 4th inning, and Kevin Pillar.
This is the part of the lineup that did the damage back in the 2nd inning for the Blue Jays.
There's a line drive base hit into center field for Pillar. Breaks up a string of 7 in a row retired by Buchholz. And Pillar is 2 for 2.
Last time Pillar got a base hit back in the 2nd, drove in a run. And that was on a changeup. This time it's a fastball from Buchholz, and he takes it back up the middle for a base hit. Block and run. He's got 8 steals on the season, so don't be surprised if he tries to get in a scoring position with 2 outs.
Ryan Goins with a runner at first and 2 down, and Sandoval at the lip of the grass. Buchholz throwing over, keeping a close eye on Pillar. there for a strike. Buchholz has struck out 2 in the inning already, 5 in his outing. See the numbers for Goins against Buchholz. Another guy that hits Clay Buchholz well. Throw to first, and Pilar a little late to react, but diving back safely.
Two biggest base stealers in the lineup today for the Blue Jays. Reyes with 9 and Pilar with 8.
On the ground and through the left side into left field, a base hit. And again, the bottom of the order, the 8-9 men. Now a combined 4 for 4 in this game.
Yeah, it's tough on pitches. I mean, when you go 1 through 9 and there are no soft outs in the lineup, it is very, very difficult. And as we told you last time up, Goins, very good numbers against Clay Buchholz. And once again today, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs.
So the Blue Jays trying to get something done here with 2 outs in the inning. Top of the order, Jose Reyes. Toronto already on top, 3-0. And Reyes lines this foul down the right field line. A hot shot. His third look today at Buchholz. He has put the ball in the air twice. Flying out to center, popping out to shortstop. And very good with 2 outs. Runners in scoring position at 467. Pilar at second and Goins at first. And a grounder foul. Well, Tuesday afternoon, check out an all-new Red Sox report. Members from the 1975 Red Sox relive their memories from that magical run of the greatest World Series ever played. Don't miss the Red Sox report Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Reyes towards left center field. Ramirez is not going to get there. Drops down for a hit. Round from second is Pilar. He'll score, throw to second. And it is a 4-0 Blue Jays lead. Jose Reyes with his first hit of the day scores Pilar. Goins takes third. And the Jays getting all this done with 2 outs in the inning.
Reyes extends his hitting streak down to 10 games. Very tentative out there in left field was Hanley Ramirez on this line drive. See where he's playing right there as he starts to his left and then decides he can't make the play on it, so he plays it on 1 hop, 1 run scores, and some first and third action for the Blue Jays.
Here is Josh Donaldson, 0 for 2 in the game. And a pitch for a strike over the outside corner. Donaldson struck out swinging in the first, grounded out to shortstop in the second. And Castillo well over into right center. Big gap out there in left center for Donaldson. As that fastball runs in. 70 pitches for Buchholz through 3 2/3.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Reyes go here on the 1-1 count.
Foul back, and it's 1-2. Clay coming into the start since the start of 2010, 9-6 A 3.31 earned run average against the Blue Jays, holding them to a 226 batting average. It's 19 games against Toronto, but here today giving up 3 in the second inning, 1 so far here in the fourth. Another foul off to the right by Donaldson. Still having a fun day at the ballpark, even if the score is not on the right side right now, with the Blue Jays on top 4-0, looking for more. Join the 2020 Club and enjoy an affordable, fun night at Fenway. Groups of 20 or more start at $20 each. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. A little bit high, 2-2. Inning started well for Buchholz, striking out Martin and Smoke back to back, but singles by Pilar, Goins, and an RBI single by Jose Reyes. The Jays have scored a run and look for more now. Donaldson grounds one towards short. Bogarts is going to shuffle it to second base underhanded and in time to end the inning. But the Blue Jays add a run, take a 4-0 lead. Open an Eastern free checking account in the month of June and you'll get $100. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. 4-0 the Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox. Brock Holt leading it off and taking strike one. Holt a strikeout victim in the first inning. One of 2 strikeouts today for R.A. Dickey. Brock getting the start at first. Mike Napoli with the day off. Brock continues to play on an everyday basis, just not the same spot defensively every day. That one getting away to the backstop. Strike 3 call. Holt frozen on it, and there's a third strikeout for Dickey, and the second time he's got Brock Holt.
It's one of those knucklers that tilts back down and in to the left-hander. We showed you a couple of games here at Fenway Park ago that, you know, how the different way that they release the knuckleball will make it go down and in or down and away. And that time it was a little tilt to the right. It makes it go down and in, and Brock Holt didn't like it. There you see the grip right there, not directly over the top, but off to the side, and it makes that ball go from right to left.
R.A. Dickey now 40 years old and broke into the big leagues as a member of the Texas Rangers back in 2001. He's not an exclusively knuckleball pitcher at that point until later in his career, and of course won the National League Cy Young Award in 2012 with the Mets. 20-6 that year. He threw 233 and 2/3 innings, and by today's standards, a lot of pitches and a lot of innings thrown. He also had 5 complete games to lead the league in 3 shutouts. 2.73 ERA the year he won the Cy Young. Ramirez with a big cut there, down 1-2.
Took a lot off the knuckleball that time, 65 miles an hour. What do you call it, a change-up knuckler?
I guess so. This is laced foul. Dickey the last 2 years, and his first 2 years with the Toronto Blue Jays, identical records, making 34 starts each year and finishing the year 14-13, both in 2013 and in 2014. Has a lot of work to do to get to 14 wins this year as he comes into today's effort at 2-6. Been up over 200 innings for the last 4 seasons. Ramirez pops it up foul, out of play. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Full count here to Hanley Ramirez with David Ortiz waiting on deck. Had been 0-2. A full count now for Hanley. To center field, and a base hit for Hanley Ramirez. Just the second Red Sox hit of the day. Breaks up a string of 5 in a row retired by R.A. Dickey.
Now that knuckleball running back in the hands of Hanley Ramirez. Actually, it's a fastball, not a knuckleball at all. And Ramirez takes it into center field for the base hit. So the Red Sox trying to put some kind of an inning together and get something on the board in this ball game.
Blue Jays into the shift, but they keep it tight to the infield as Ortiz will take ball 1, a little bit low. I think he thought he might have picked up the strike zone that time, but 2-0. Ortiz popping out to Ryan Goins, second baseman in the second inning. And short right field at the time in the shift. All of a sudden here, R.A. Dickey losing it a little bit, 3-0. Goes the fastball for the strike and a generous call from Brian O'Nora.
That's one of those automatic 3-0 strikes, right?
Looks like it. David is perplexed as he looks back. That is ball 4. So the Red Sox with one out have runners at first and second. That's the first walk given up by Dickey. I want to remind you to follow the Red Sox all season in 2015 with MLB.com at bat. At bat is up to the moment with highlights, live look-ins, StatCasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat today. Holt struck out. Ramirez with a single, Ortiz a walk. And that takes us to Xander Bogaerts, who struck out swinging in the second inning. That'll get away from Martin, and the runners can move up. Ramirez to third, Ortiz to second base.
Even though the ball appears to be over the plate, still very difficult to handle. As you can see right there, the bottom falling out of it and just barely got a piece of the glove, then off the knee of Russell Martin.
Second pass ball of the day charged to Russell Martin.
What a headache that has to be for a catcher.
To right field for Bogaerts. That's going to get in. Hanley Ramirez will score, and the Red Sox are on the board. It's now 4-1. Xander Bogaerts picks up his 24th RBI.
That's a good approach by Bogaerts, too. Not trying to do too much with it. 9-game hitting streak now. Gets the knuckleball, relaxes, gets on top of it. If it's high, let it fly. That's exactly where that one was, high. And Bogaerts lets it fly to the opposite field for the base hit.
First and third, one out, and the numbers updated for Bogaerts against R.A. Dickey. Sandoval a double in the second inning as this one off the home plate umpire. Throw to second base, and Xander will be safe. He took off right away, gets into scoring position.
That was kind of weird right there because Martin at first couldn't find the ball. And that's when Bogaerts took off to second base. You can see him looking around for it, and it bounces right back to him. He tries to throw to second base, but Bogaerts beats it.
Another pass ball charged to Russell Martin. Second of this inning, third of the ball game. Chance here for Sandoval with the Red Sox trailing by 3. Runners at second and third, a run already in. Sandoval up the middle into center field, a base hit. Ortiz will score. Here comes Xander Bogaerts, and the Red Sox right back in it again. It's a one-run game.
That's exactly what the Red Sox had to do. They've been stymied in the first 3 innings after a strikeout to Holt. Then they get the base hit by Ramirez, the walk, the base hit by Bogaerts, and now a big bounce right up over the head of R.A. Dickey, and 2 runs come across. 1-run ball game now, 4-3.
Now Alejandro Diaz. Diaz taking strike 1. The arms out of the way, ended up being a strike. Diaz grounded out to Ryan Goins at second base in the second inning. Foul into the Red Sox dugout. Rattles around in the dugout.
All right, Dickey this year has given up 13 home runs. That is the most on the staff for the Blue Jays.
On the ground to third base. Donaldson, a bobble, stays with it, and it does not get De Aza. So a possible double play ball there initially, and it turns into nothing.
And I think that's what happened too, Don. I think Donaldson, knowing that De Aza can run, was trying to speed things up a little bit and never really got a grip on the baseball. He wanted to go 5-4-3, but right there, the ball bounces out of the webbing of the glove. You see his body already moving towards second base. As he knows he has to speed it up because of De Aza's speed, and then he can't get him at first base.
So the inning continues with one out. Runners at first and second. Rusney Castillo in there for a strike, grabbing the inside corner. Rusney thought he had a home run back in the third inning, but was robbed by Jose Bautista. Reaching into the Red Sox bullpen to bring it back. And a nice catch at the wall. Off the end of the bat, foul, 0-2.
One more look at that catch by Bautista earlier in the ball game. Looked like a home run for Rusney to the opposite field, but Bautista well under control as he goes back to the wall and makes the catch. He looked twice to see how much room he had.
Now Castillo to right, and Bautista out there. Puts it away. Tagging at second base is Sandoval. He'll make his way to third. Tying run 90 feet away now with 2 down. They'll get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located right behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. So the Red Sox here as we get a look at R.A. Dickey's line, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 3 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. They've given up only 1 hit through the first 3 innings. And had retired 5 in a row before the single by Hanley Ramirez that got all this started. And there is action now for the Blue Jays. Ryan Tepera is up. 70th pitch for R.A. Dickey, and it's grounded back to him. A nice play. The Gold Glover flips to first base for the out that ends the inning. Red Sox scored 3 times. It's 4-3 Toronto through 4. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Well, new lease on life right now for Clay Buchholz and the Red Sox, scoring 3 times in the bottom of the 4th inning to inch closer to the Blue Jays. As the Jays come to bat, 3, 4, and 5 for Toronto. Bautista, Encarnacion, and Colabello. And a first pitch strike under the hands there of Bautista.
And Bautista's very close to the plate, as you can see where he sets up. That back foot very close.
Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Garen Austin with you from Fenway Park for Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. The Jays jumped out to a 4-0 advantage, but the Red Sox scored 3 times in the bottom of the 4th. Bautista again being brushed back a tad, trying to move him off that plate. Pitch coming up here for Clay Buchholz. 3rd 3-ball count of the afternoon. And it's a leadoff walk for Jose Bautista to begin things here in the 5th inning. Monday, June 15th is Aetna night at Fenway Park, and the first 7,000 fans to visit the Aetna table will receive a Red Sox rally towel. Aetna is working hard to help build a healthier Red Sox nation. Health insurance plans are offered at Aetna Life Insurance Company and its affiliates. First walk of the day allowed by Buchholz comes to begin this 5th inning, and here is Edwin Encarnacion, 1 for 2 on the day. Encarnacion with a single in the 2nd. He struck out swinging in the 3rd. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Bautista. Encarnacion with a lengthy at bat his first time, and usually in for a good long battle every time up there. Majority of his hits, pull hits. Going the opposite way 19% of the time. This is pulled foul. Right down that 3rd base line into the seats.
Well, I got a chance, Don. I'd like to welcome a group of Red Sox campers, about 100 of them out in the bleachers today. Part of those campers, Mick McCormick, who was the son of Jack McCormick, our traveling secretary. Red Sox sponsored Red Sox campers throughout New England. There's a group of about 100 today here at the ball game on a beautiful day.
Picked a good day to be here.
Yeah. Now if the score can switch around just a little bit more, be even better.
Encarnacion thought about it, sliding to his right. Leon able to grab that, and it's 2 balls 2 strikes to Encarnacion. Bautista held on at first base by Brock Holt with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. That's a pitch Buchholz has not gotten today. Right at the bottom of the zone.
Which is surprising because for the most part, those are called strikes now.
Third full count for Clay of the day. Just walked Bautista. Now a full count to Encarnacion. Pitch count rising for Buchholz. Swing and a miss, and he gets Encarnacion. There's the 6th strikeout of the day for Clay Buchholz. Out number 1 of the 5th inning.
Now there's the confidence that Buchholz has in his changeup to throw it on a 3-2 count. Encarnacion gets him out in front off balance and picks up the strikeout. Bautista staying at first base just in case there was a strikeout. Bautista not really great base stealing speed. He can run, but they did not send him in that situation.
That Buchholz's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 1 out, 1 on, and Chris Golabello the batter. He is 1 for 2 today. An infield hit to shortstop in the 2nd inning. And he takes strike 1. Started with a fastball. That time he did get the low strike call. Buchholz looking at the landing area after that last delivery. Now going to work on that landing area. Looked like a little bit of a slip there, or something he didn't like. Bautista walked to begin the inning. Encarnacion with a strikeout. Now 1-1 pitch to Golabello. In the dirt for ball 2. And Clay going to work on that landing spot. On the ground towards short. Bogarts on a good hop. The 2nd for 1 on to 1st for 2. Double play. Buchholz needed that. Works his way around a leadoff walk. It's 4-3 Blue Jays. Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. And by your New England Ford dealers. 4-3. Blue Jays have the lead over the Red Sox. Pedroia leading it off here in the home half of the fifth. Pedroia, Holt, and Ramirez to face R.A. Dickey. Plenty of Dustin Pedroia jerseys throughout Fenway Park. Dustin has grounded out to Ryan Goins at second base and fouled out to the first baseman Justin Smoke. And 2 at-bats today. Now a grounder to third. Donaldson to the backhand for the first out of the inning. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital Boston towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. One out in the fifth inning. Brock Holt 0 for 2. Brock struck out swinging in the first inning, then went looking in the fourth inning. Ground ball foul and grabbed by Arnie Baylor, first base coach.
Go ahead. So I was going to say, it looks like Martin's had about enough behind the plate, doesn't he? You see his reaction after that last knuckleball?
It's not much fun. Of course, Josh Tolley, who was doing the majority of catching for R.A. Dickey for a while there, but not with the club now. Sent back down again by the Jays, and now it's the responsibility of Russell Martin. He's not having much fun. Ground ball to first base. Changed direction, but Smoke went down to get it. And there are 2 outs here in the fifth inning. Now 2 down here in the fifth. I want to stay tuned right after the third out of this inning for a special Stay in the Park feature right here on NESN. A look at what you would see here at the ballpark if you were right here with us at Fenway Park in between innings coming up. So don't go anywhere. 2 outs here in the inning, and it brings up Hanley Ramirez.
If you stay with us, you may get a shot of the booth and see Don's makeup person come down and fix his makeup about halfway through the game.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if we can get in one of those boxes, in between innings. What happens in between innings up here? It's very exciting.
Yeah, actually, it's not very exciting.
No, nothing really happens.
I think they'd rather see the players on the field. I really do.
The 80th pitch for R.A. Dickey.
I got a kick out when the national games come in and they get their announcers and they get them all in seats, and there's people doing their hair and their face and their makeup and their, and all this stuff, and we just go on with our whatever we got.
They got the barber smocks on too.
Oh yeah, so they'll get their shirt and tie all messed up.
Yeah, we don't have that.
No, and we don't want that.
There's a pop-up foul off to the right.
I mean, what you see is what you get.
This is it.
It's not phony. It's really us.
We don't have makeup people yet. This is it.
It's as good as it gets.
It's not good, but this is it.
It's not going to get any better either.
No, quite possibly going to get much worse. Back-to-back groundouts to begin this inning for Dickey. You got Ortiz waiting on deck. Drops in there for strike 3. Hanley Ramirez knew it. 4th strikeout for R.A. Dickey. Let's stay right here in the park. Don't go anywhere. The Blue Jays have the lead. Found all that great, except your part really boring. Really boring. You did nothing but stare at the field for the entire break as preparation for the next inning. Nothing. Got nothing out of you.
Well, you were acting like you were reading something.
What do you mean?
Like you were.
I was going over my notes. I was stacking my statistical information.
I didn't even know the camera was on. Yeah, I did. Was that on?
Yes, that was on television. You were on TV. You're on Nesson. 1-0 pitch is going to miss. 2-0. Russell Martin, Justin Smoke, and Kevin Pillar to bat here in the 6th inning. Martin singled and scored in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Did he go? They'll check. No, he did not, says Alan Porter. Fly ball center field. Castillo out there in center today. And Rusney handles out number 1 of the inning. Well, tomorrow at 5:30, it's the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by AAA. Tom Caron will have all the best moments from the past week of Red Sox baseball. Action in the Red Sox pen. Tommy Lane warming with 1 out in the inning. One out in the 6th, and Justin Smoke 0 for 2. He struck out looking and swinging.
That's one thing that Buckholz has had going for him very good today is that changeup. Made one bad one in the game that stayed up in the zone, but other than that, it's been very good.
He's reached his average here with 1 out in the 6th inning. Lane warming in the pen. He's really become a go-to guy for John Farrell out there in the pen.
Yeah, especially when you look and you see a couple of lefties that possibly are due up. You're going to see Tommy Lane up, especially in a close game.
Swing and a miss, and Buchholz able to strike out Justin Smoke. That's 7 Ks for Buchholz, and the third time Smoke is down by way of the K.
And all 3 times he's got him on different pitches. This last one, of course, a changeup. As you can see, the grip. He's got him on a curveball, and he's got him on a cut fastball today. So he has shown him about everything.
There's his pitch arsenal today. 2 outs in the 6th inning for Kevin Pillar.
When you see that 77% fastballs, remember that's a cross seam fastball and a 2-seam fastball and a cut fastball. So it's 3 different fastballs
As part of the 77%.
as part of that 77%.
Pitch number 100. And it's grounded foul just above the Blue Jays dugout. Bouncing in, and it is now 2-1 to Pillar.
Nice to see Mookie Betts smiling in the Red Sox dugout. Joe Kelly, last night's starter. Arnie Baylor, first base coach.
Big swing and a miss for Pillar, down to 1 knee that time.
I think that was more of losing balance on Pillar's part than it was of trying to go deep.
Not the Adrian Beltre style.
Yeah, not quite. It was interesting to see Sandy Leon there prior to that pitch, how he kind of made some movement with his glove on the dirt inside, and that's really to see if he can trap that hitter, to see if he hears that and thinking that the pitch will be inside. Instead, they go outside, so trying to trick the hitter.
Does that work for you? Somebody did that down below. You could tell you're thinking now they're coming in.
Yeah, you're always listening, always looking, to see if you can see a shadow or something, to see that something that might tip you off to where the pitchers want to be. And catchers know that, obviously, and they play the same game.
Popped up, back at first in short right, and they're coming from everywhere, but it'll be De Aza makes the catch in fair ground that ends the top of the 6th inning. 4-3 Blue Jays. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. On to the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-3. The Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox. R.A. Dickey back out there with David Ortiz leading it off. Blue Jays in the shift. David's third plate appearance. He's popped out to second, walked and scored. Ryan Goins in short right. Jose Reyes on the right side of the infield. Ortiz hits one high and deep to right field. When it comes down, we're tied. 4-4 the score from Fenway. Big Papi with his 8th home run of the year.
Well, you kind of figured that in a game like today against R.A. Dickey, the home run would become involved because he's given up a number of them. And David Ortiz hits the first one of the day for the Red Sox. Knuckleball inside, and Ortiz gets everything behind that. He has been swinging the bat much better recently, I would say over the last 4 or 5 games.
Now Xander Bogaerts takes strike one. David with 474 home runs. One behind Stan Musial and Willie Stargell. Down to third base, Josh Donaldson for the first out here of the 6th inning. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Alltown is New England's premier convenience retailer. One out, a run in on the home run by David Ortiz. And Pablo Sandoval 2 for 2 today with 2 RBIs. Double in the second, a single in the 4th inning. Lights it off, foul to the left, out of play. '90th pitch coming up for Dickey, and it's by Sandoval. Swing and a miss, and Sandoval chases that up and away. 5th strikeout for R.A. Dickey.
One more look at the home run by David Ortiz, and that's probably what he's doing right now, looking at video of this home run. It was a blast. There's no question about that. Way up. In that section in right field.
You know, all the home runs we've seen David Ortiz hit to right, all the towering blasts, none have come close to the Ted Williams seat up there.
I've never seen any home run come close.
I was going to ask you that.
Not in batting practice.
Nothing.
Not from guys hitting from second base. I wonder about that, Red Seat.
You have questions about that, Red Seat?
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything come close to it. And that's going back to coming here as a kid to watch games, playing here, and broadcasting here. Now, playing here, I saw a lot of batting practice, too. And I still see a lot of batting practice. And I've never seen anything close to that.
Now the other way, Colabello headed over, and Colabello has to get by him on the dive. Rolls around in the corner. Piazza will pull it up with a 2-out double. His first hit of the day, and into scoring position in a tie game.
Piazza adds something to this club. He adds a little bit of offense, some defense, some speed. This time that ball slicing away from a Colabello in left field, as you can see right here. He makes a nice effort as he dives for it, but the ball's going to get by him, and Piazza gets in a scoring position.
So 2 outs, Piazza at second base. Rusney Castillo with a chance here. Rusney fouls it off himself. R.A. Dickey chasing it down, but a foul ball.
There's the Red Sea.
There it is.
And it is a long way to the bullpen.
Wow, there's a lot of bleachers there before you get to that.
Yeah, and then there's a long way from the bullpen to the infield. And then there's a longer way from the infield to the batter's box.
What do you think that is? Like 500 and...
No, it's got to be on record. It's probably in the press guide somewhere, I would imagine, because it is a landmark here at Fenway Park.
Broken back grounder left side. Donaldson on the run and in time to retire Castillo. And to end the 6th inning, we head for the 7th. Red Sox tie it up 4-4. Today's game, and you'll hear from Clay Buchholz. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but W.B. Mason?
Don, I was checking Twitter between innings, and people are firing in at 502 feet.
Okay.
To the red seat. I also got one from a gentleman who thinks that I don't think that Ted hit that. And he was not happy with me. At all.
Really?
Yeah. He had some bad things to say. We did not say that, did we?
No.
I just said that I have not seen one come close to that.
No. There's a bunt bid by Goins as Jeff Bianchi just into the game with a nice play. He took over for Pablo Sandoval, races in barehanded as he throws out Ryan Goins at first base. A nice play by Bianchi.
Yeah, Bianchi just coming into the game and going saying, well, I'm going to try him out. And not a perfect bunt. You want it down the line a little bit more than that, make it a tougher play for the third baseman. He was coming in toward the mound, which made it easier for Bianchi to make a play on that bunt. Nice play nonetheless.
Now Jose Reyes, 1 for 3 in the game with an RBI single, will take strike one. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia as Tommy Lane into the game for Boston. His 24th appearance, 0-1 with a 2.75 earned run average. I think Reyes went. They checked. No, says Al Porter. I think Al missed that.
It did look like Reyes broke the wrist on that swing.
Bunt bid again. This time it is Lane. Plants and throws, 2 down. Nice play. Good athletic play off the hill for Tommy Lane.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see right-handers push towards second base with a left-hander on the mound because the left-hander is kind of falling off toward third base, so it makes it a little bit easier for them to make those plays. And what you'll see a lot of times is the right-hander try to push the ball to the other side, to the hand side of the left-handed pitcher.
That's going to do it for Tommy Lane. Gets the outs he needed. Goins and Reyes. You get Donaldson coming up. And coming into the game here for the Red Sox to be Alexia Gondo. Ted Williams hit that home run. I guess that's the 502 feet away.
Let me tell you something. I am getting absolutely killed on Twitter.
You're getting crushed?
I am getting absolutely crushed. One person says it's 530 feet away from home plate. 502 is inaccurate because it doesn't include the extra distance for how long it was in the air.
Huh?
I don't know. All I know is right now my tweets are not pretty.
They're not friendly?
No.
Sorry to hear that. That's tough.
Well, it really bothers me.
I can tell it's really hurting your feelings. I don't think positive thoughts as with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. The Red Sox have a new pitcher. Jerry Blasting, Hall of Famer Ted Williams today on the broadcast.
That's not true. Now, there you go. Yeah, just keep him firing in. That's all.
I believe you said he wasn't that good a hitter, as I thought what you said, right? I thought that's what I heard. Josh Donaldson with a big swing there. Right now he is tweeting Jerry Remy, saying nasty things.
Some are really bad. I mean, oh, wow.
Alexia Gondo, the 3rd pitcher used by Boston today. Donaldson 0 for 3 today. The numbers for Gondo coming in his 24th appearance, 1-0 with a 4.01 earned run average, 18 strikeouts, 9 walks. Opponent sitting at 231 against the right-hander.
One guy just called me a drunk.
Two and one.
We don't drink in the booth.
2 ground outs in this inning before Gondo came in. Grounded foul outside of third. Well, Donaldson just 2 for 11. Part of the reason Gondo in here. Low and away, full count. Four runs, 8 hits, an error for the Blue Jays. 4 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Red Sox. And Donaldson sends one foul off to the right out of play. Great pickup for the Blue Jays. Brett Lawrie going to the Oakland A's, and he's helped the A's, but not quite the way Donaldson has changed the Blue Jays. And part of this great run for the Blue Jays, 9 straight wins and making a run right now. To center field. Castillo goes back a step or two and hauls it in to end the inning. 7th inning stretch from Fenway, tied at 4. And in Canada. And pretty close today.
Yeah, close one.
55% saying yes. 45 saying no. Interesting to see what happens in the near future with Montreal. The Blue Jays have been going to play exhibition games at the end of spring training at old Olympic Stadium in Montreal, and they have been sold out each time they've been there, and it appears that Montreal certainly would love to have baseball back. 4-4 the score as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the new pitcher for the Blue Jays, Liam Hendriks. He had been up in the game last night but did not get in. It's in today to his 22nd game of the year. 2-0, 3.29 earned run average, 29 strikeouts, only 5 walks, and opponents hitting at 202 against Hendriks. Sandy Leon to lead it off for Boston here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Leon has popped out and grounded out as John Gibbons lifts his starter R.A. Dickey after 6 innings today. Dickey giving up a total of 6 hits and 4 runs. Ground ball right side. Ryan Goins throws out Leon for the first out of the inning. Let's get a game break brought to you by Jordan's Furniture Store, the Boston Red Sox. Tom? Okay, Tom, thanks very much. We look forward to the post game from Yawkey Way and the start tomorrow for Eduardo Rodriguez. He has been fun to watch. Dustin Pedroia today has been held hitless, 0 for 3. He's grounded out, fouled out, and grounded out again. First look at Liam Hendriks today. R.A. Dickey, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. He walked about or struck out 5. Will not be part of the decision today, and had a 4-0 lead to work with, but gave up 3 runs to the Red Sox in the 4th. An additional run on the home run by Ortiz in the 6th inning. Line to left for Pedroia. Colabello over to plant, but a 1-out single for Dustin Pedroia. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. Whether you're taking your truck off-road, the kids to practice, or your sports car to its limits, there's a Toyo Tire for you. Visit toyotires.com to find a dealer near you.
Let's see if the Red Sox try something here with one out. You got a contact guy up in Brock Holt. Maybe they'll play a little hit and run in this situation.
1 out, 1 on, and Holt standing in. Strike one over the outside corner. 93 from Liam Hendricks. Holt today has struck out twice, once swinging, once looking, and grounded out to first base. Popped up foul, out of play. Well, tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, we'll have a complete recap from Fenway and have an update on the Stanley Cup Final. That's tonight on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck with 1 out, and Dustin Pedroia at first base. There goes Pedroia. Holt swings away and sends one to center. Incoming is Pilar. Can't get it. Drops in front of him. Pedroia was not sure. He was headed back to first base, but Pilar cannot catch it, even though he came racing in, and the Red Sox have 2 on.
Yeah, that was the problem with not being able to go first to third. The ball was kind of looped into the outfield, and for a second it looked like Pilar was going to make the catch. And you'll see Pedroia look up, slides into second base, finds the baseball, and says, whoop, maybe he is going to catch that. And he starts back to first. So they do put Pedroia in motion, but he ends up at second base on the 2-strike hit by Brock Holt.
Now Hanley Ramirez with 1 out and 2 on. He has flied out to the warning track in left, singled to center, scored a run, and struck out looking. And grounds one foul. Inning started with Leon grounding out to second base. Pedroia single to left. Brock Holt with a single to center. 2 on, 1 away.
One of the jobs when you're a runner at second base in this situation, you check the outfield, see how deep they're playing, and that's also what Brian Butterfield's doing at third base.
Liner that is into right field. Pedroia was headed back to second. He's going to only get to third as Bautista gets it back in. Keep in mind, Bautista's got a great arm. But it was just out of the reach on the right side of Smoke, and Pedroia actually started back thinking he was going to catch it.
Yeah, that Dustin's having a tough run around the bases because he's had a couple of tough plays that he's had to judge. The fly ball at center field. Now he doesn't know if the second baseman or the first baseman rather is going to make the catch on that line drive, so you have to hold up. So this is the perfect spot for Ortiz. Bases loaded, 1 out. And nobody throwing in the bullpen yet, so it's going to be righty against Ortiz.
David Ortiz 1 for 4 in his career against Hendricks. 0 for 5 this year with the bases loaded. Pedroia, Holt, and Ramirez. 1 out in the Boston 7th inning. 95 on the fastball that was rising.
David going for it all. He's got 1 today and trying to put 4 more on right there.
Foul the the other way, back into the seats. Well, back in the 6th inning, leading off the 6th inning with the Red Sox trailing by a run. A long home run to right. His 8th home run of the year for Ortiz tied this game. Now trying to break the tie in the bottom of the 7th inning. Down and in, 2-2. Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. David thinking about what he may see next year from Liam Hendriks. Swing and a miss. Ortiz cannot catch up to the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and he strikes out.
Well, if you look at the pitch location there, too, everything, just about every pitch from Ortiz, to Ortiz, I should say, was away from him with the exception of one. And that's nasty. You've got to swing at that. It's going to be a called third strike if you don't. And Ortiz cannot make contact on it. So it's up now to Xander Bogaerts.
.355 against other teams' bullpens, 6th highest in Major League Baseball. See what he does here against this Blue Jays reliever and Liam Hendriks with 2 outs, bases filled with Red Sox. Bogaerts takes strike 1. Fouled off to the right, and Xander down 0-2.
Now here's where Bogaerts has been so good this year when he gets down in the count, a couple of strikes, taking that ball the other way. Let's see what happens here with the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Probably trying to get him to chase a bad pitch.
Ryan Tepera up in the pen, had been up earlier, back up again. Time call. 1 out in this inning. Pedroia single to left. Holt single to center. Ramirez to right. Ortiz with the bases loaded, 1 out, strikes out. Now Bogaerts down 0-2. And Xander strikes out. Hendriks gets out of the jam, and this game remains tied. Red Sox leave them loaded. innings, giving up 3 earned runs of the 4 that he allowed. Clay Buchholz, 6 innings, giving up 4 earned runs. David Ortiz tied it with his 8th home run of the year, 4-4. As we play on here to the 8th inning, Jose Bautista leading it off and taking a pitch low and away from Alexi Ogando. Oh, what an opportunity the Red Sox just had. Bases loaded, 1 out, and could not score. See the slugging percentage for Bautista against relief pitching. That's the highest in baseball as he swings at that and fouls it back. Bautista has fly to center, line to first, and walked in this game. Ogando got the final out of the 7th. He starts the 8th with nobody warming in the pen as the inning begins. Three for 9 against Ogando. Bautista on the ground to short. Bogaerts has got it. First out of the 8th. Well, just one Nexium 24-hour-a-day gives you all day, all night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium24hour.com for savings and pick up Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. One out here in the 8th inning. Here is Edwin Encarnacion. He went around trying to hold up, kind of changed his mind in the middle.
That's the slider from Ogando right there that had Encarnacion fooled on the first pitch.
Big hack there.
Another slider again, but that one a little bit flat and high, but still no contact. Koji loosening up in the Red Sox bullpen.
.96, but not close. Two for 10 against Ogando. Nine in a row retired by Red Sox pitching. Runs the fastball inside that time. 2-2. In the air to shallow center. Pedroia going out. Castillo was deep, but Rusney has time to recover and handles out number 2 of the 8th inning. Well, tomorrow on an all-new Nesson clubhouse, Clay Buchholz shows D'Angelo Ortiz his fastball grip. Joe Kelly takes the hot seat on Small Talk, and we go on a wild ride with Boston Pedicab for Fenway Jobs. Nesson Clubhouse comes to you commercial-free tomorrow at noon, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. 2 down here in the 8th inning. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Garen Austin with you for game 2 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. In a 4-4 game. This is driven towards the gap in right center field. Going to get down, and Castillo cuts it off, holding Chris Colabello to a 2-out base hit.
And that was big by Castillo in center field. They were playing deep with 2 outs, and he's able to cut that ball off before it gets by him and allow the man to get in the scoring position at second base. You can see how deep Castillo is. Looks like a pinch runner coming in right now.
Ezequiel Carrera will pinch run. He's taken over defensively anyway late in the game in left field for Colabello in last night's game. Carl Willis to the mound here as they get ready to prepare for Russell Martin with 2 outs and the pinch runner at first. Right now you get up to 60 months with no interest on anything at Jordan's Furniture. Furnish one room or your entire home. Best of all, you'll get to enjoy it right now. Visit Jordans.com for details. Russell Martin coming up here. 1 for 3 days. Single to left field back in the second inning. 2 for 4. Does have a home run against Agondo in his career. Throw to first, and back is Correa at first, able to get back.
He's got a little bit of speed. He doesn't play all that much, but he's got a couple of steals. Has not been thrown out.
Bouncing in, blocked by Leon nicely. Correa not able to advance. Thought about it.
That's a big play there by Leon with that man at first base. Keep him out of scoring position. Comes up and gets him right, looks like on the right arm somewhere, and that keeps that runner at first base.
.271 in the 7th inning or later, but only 2 hits in his last 22 at bats. Correa, the pinch runner at first with 2 down here in the 8th. Outside, and it's 2-0 now to Martin. Martin dangerous, does have 9 home runs on the year. On the ground to shortstop. Bogarts will go to second for the force out that ends the top of the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Game tied 4-4. The 8th inning. All different kinds of interpretations to the Wally wave.
He's added a little something to it.
It's another step.
Yeah.
Bottom of the 8th inning. Jeff Bianchi leading it off here for Boston. Second stint of the year with the Red Sox. As he takes strike one. It is Red Sox debut as a pinch runner back on May 24th against the Angels. Not played in a major league game since then, but into the game at third base. Sandoval leaving with quad tightness. And Bianchi down 0-2. 163 games in the big leagues for Bianchi. Hendricks yanking that down away in the dirt. Action behind Hendricks, Steve Delabar. Victorious in last night's game. New left fielder for the Blue Jays, Ezequiel Carrera, who had pinch run for Chris Colabello, now takes over for him in left field. On the ground right side as Goins to his left throws out Bianchi for the first out of the 8th inning.
Well, Hendricks came up big in the 7th inning. The base is loaded for the Red Sox. He gets David Ortiz on a fastball that's going to be away from him right there, and then he gets Xander Bogaerts on a breaking ball. So the Red Sox had a great opportunity with bases loaded and one out and 2 huge strikeouts for Hendricks.
Well, Alejandro De Aza 4-for-11 in his career against Liam Hendricks. 1-for-3 on the day today with a double in the 6th inning. Slap foul off to the left into the seats. Stay tuned following WB Mason Extra Innings Live for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC and Steve Lyons will be live on Yawkey Way, and they'll have scores and highlights from around Major League Baseball. Well, today the Red Sox, the team coming from behind. They trailed 4-0 to the Blue Jays through the first 3.5 innings, but Boston got 3 in the bottom of the 4th and a run in the 6th on the home run by David Ortiz, and we're tied up 4-4 here in the last of the 8th. Piazza fouls it back, 2-2.
It's been a good game here today, and the Red Sox falling behind early in this game, but you know, when you're holding the Blue Jays to 4 runs through 8 innings, that's pretty darn good. Red Sox able to come back, tie the game. Had a great opportunity to go ahead in the 7th, but that didn't happen. Now trying to put something together here in the 8th.
Piazza hanging tough, fouls off another one. Fouls it again, and he'll see his 7th pitch in this at bat.
A steady diet of sliders too from Hendricks.
Broken back grounder down the first baseline, and Justin Smoke will tag the bag, and there are 2 outs in the 8th inning. But tomorrow at 12:30, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abood, available at Men's Warehouse. Joe Kelly takes the hot seat in the new installment of Red Sox Small Talk. 2 down, 4 in a row, retired by Hendricks, and it brings up Rusney Castillo. 0 for 3 in the game today. He has fly twice to right field and grounded out to third base. Sandy Leon, the catcher, waiting on deck. Castillo, it's a ground ball to shortstop. Jose Reyes throws him out, and we head to the 9th inning, tied up 4-4 from Fenway. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. And by the Kia Sorento. Well, it's a beautiful day today in Boston. 4-4 the score. Both teams with 9 hits, both with 1 miscue. And Koji Uehara into the game. His 23rd appearance, 2-3 with a 2.37 earned run average. And save opportunities, 13 out of 15 so far in the year. 21 Ks to 6 walks. Opponents hitting at 188 against Uehara. And he is in here in a tie game at home in the 9th. Justin Smoak leading it off and taking ball 1. Smoke 1 for 2 with a home run against Uehara. Smoak lines one to left, in for a base hit in front of Hanley, who knocks it down. But a base hit to begin the 9th inning for Smoak. His first hit of the day. It struck out 3 times.
He had a tough afternoon until on at bat. That line shot right there. One hop to Hanley Ramirez, and Smoak with the leadoff single. Hanley made the right play there by backing off. If he tries to charge out, he's not going to catch it, and it's going to get by him, and there'll be a man in scoring position.
Pinch runner Danny Valencia at first base for Smoak. Here is Kevin Pillar, a 2-hit day today. Single in the 2nd, single in the 4th before flying out to right in the 6th inning.
Let's see if they go to the sacrifice. They have been doing that.
Is squaring, and it's popped up right to Brock Holt at first base. Big out there, and a big mistake for Kevin Pillar.
Yeah, bad angle with the bat. You got to get on top of the baseball, and you can see the barrel of the bat underneath the baseball right there, and just pops it right up, right to Brock Holt. You go into your crouch to bunt. Anything that is above your back, you generally let go because there's a pretty good chance you're going to pop that up.
So Pilar upset with himself, couldn't get it done. Now Ryan Goins. Swing and a miss. Fastball by him. Really had something wrong with the bat, and we'll get a new one. Or he wants to go to work on it. Not sure. Home plate umpire Brian O'Nora calling him back over here again.
I'm not sure you're allowed to do that.
No. Thought he was going to exchange the bat because it was broken. He wasn't doing that. John Farrell saying some things from the dugout. Popped up. Pedroia to short right. Diaz coming in. Dustin will put it away. 2 down on the ninth. Bob's Discount Furniture goes to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's. Bob's Discount Furniture. Quality, choice, and value. Learn more at mybobs.com.
We'll see now with 2 outs if they try to move Valencia at first base and try to get him to steal a bag and get in a scoring position with Reyes up. Not a big lead at all.
Foul tip by Reyes. And a base hit back in the 4th inning to drive in a run. His 20th RBI of the year. A 1-for-4 day. The leadoff hitter for the Blue Jays. Down low, 2-1.
And a good play by Leone. Split-fingered fastball from Uehara down in the dirt, able to block it, to catch it actually, and that leaves the man at first base. See if anything's going on here. 2-1.
Reyes fouls it off. Valencia was not taking off at first base. Action for the Blue Jays. Their closer, Brett Cecil. Last night got 4 outs to grab the save, his 3rd of the year here. It's part of the Blue Jays' victory. Ball 3.
Yeah, Uehara wanted that, but that was well outside. Goes back to the fastball, wants to go away, but too far away. Nice job of framing that, though, also by Sandy Leone.
Throw to first, and crossing over to get back is Valencia.
Outfield a little bit deeper now in the 3-2 count with the runner off at first base. Keep that ball in front of him so he can't score from first base.
Reyes strikes out. Uehara gets him, and we head to the bottom of the ninth, tied 4-4. R.A. Dickey, a home run to right, his 8th home run of the year. Came in the 6th inning to lead it off, and we have been tied ever since. To the bottom of the 9th inning we go. And Valencia staying in the game at first base after pinch running for Smoke. Takes over for him there defensively. Steve Delabar into the game, 13th appearance, a 1.59 ERA and a 2-0 record for the right-handed reliever. Blake Swihart pinch hitting for Sandy Leon. 220, a home run. 8 runs batted in. Ahead 2-0. Leon had been 0 for 3 today.
Good idea to take a strike right there. 2-0, new pitcher in the game, getting used to the mound, make him throw a strike.
Three and one. Red Sox have action in the pen. Matt Barnes up. One of the guys who had a very difficult inning in last night's action. Swihart pops it up. Foul off third for Donaldson. Makes the catch for the first out of the bottom of the 9th. Well, tomorrow at 1, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. Adam Pellerin and Steve Lyons will preview Eduardo Rodriguez's start tomorrow. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? One down in the 9th as Pedroia coming up here has a home run in his career against Delabar, 2 for 8. As Pedroia 1 for 4 today. Single to left field his last time up in the 7th inning. Austin ahead 2-0. On the ground, foul. How happy is that guy? Swing and a miss. Big swing there for Pedroia on a pitch up and in, a fastball.
It was not supposed to be in that location either. They wanted the fastball away from Pedroia. Instead, it comes up and in. Dustin loves the ball inside and up.
See Brock Hole waiting on deck. 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning. Pedroia grounds it hard and foul.
Off speed pitch that time, a split fingered fastball.
Aaron Loop, the left-hander, now up for the Blue Jays. Full count. Pedroia fouls it back. Pitch right down the middle.
Yeah, no fastball though on the 3-2 count. A slider that time, and Pedroia does a good job to foul that pitch off.
Little check swing grounder to first base. Valencia will tag the bag for the second out of the 9th inning.
Pedroia got the count to 3-2 and did not see another fastball, a slider, and then a split-fingered fastball. And the result, the check swing to first base for the out.
Two down in the ninth for Brock Holt, who is 1 for 3 in the game. A single to center field back in the seventh. Actually 1 for 4, should say. A single back in the seventh inning. As he takes ball one a little bit high.
Again, the outfield a little bit deeper than he normally would be against Brock Holt. Again, trying to prevent that 2-base hit.
Blue Jays had a 4-0 lead. Red Sox came back to tie it up 4-4. That's where we're at here with 2 outs in the ninth. And it's strike 2 to Brock Holt.
Right at the bottom of the strike zone, maybe a little below the strike zone, but the strike call being made.
Swing and a miss. Holt strikes out, and we're headed to bonus baseball from Fenway. Tied 4-4. All season long. Jack Lake's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Now we head to the 10th inning. 4-4 the score. Blue Jays out hitting the Red Sox 10-9 as Swihart stays in the game for Sandy Leon as he pinch hit. Fouled out to begin last inning. Now does the catching for the new pitcher. Matt Barnes into the game. 15th appearance, 2-1 with a 4.20 earned run average. 12 strikeouts, 5 walks, and opponents hitting at .343 against Barnes. He had started the 7th inning last night against the Blue Jays, did not retire any of the 3 batters he faced, allowed 2 RBI hits before leaving the game. Third runner scored off Tazawa, inherited runner that Tazawa allowed to score. He's made 14 relief appearances for the Red Sox, 10 scoreless for Barnes. Josh Donaldson leading it off and taking ball 1. 97 from Barnes. Uehara worked the ninth inning, gave up a hit and had a strikeout. Ground ball foul outside of third. Look at that outing last night for Barnes. Donaldson off the end of the bat, foul to the right, out of play.
There's a lot of green between Rusney Castillo and Hanley Ramirez out there in left center field. They really have Castillo pushed over, especially with 2 strikes on Donaldson.
And Donaldson with a wild swing and a miss strikes out for the first out of the 10th inning. It's time now for today's T-Mobile game changer performance. And Rusney Castillo made a bid for a home run. It was robbed by Jose Bautista. Able to make the catch, reaching up over the bullpen wall to bring it back in. And here is Jose Bautista with 1 out in the 10th inning. One for one with an RBI single against Barnes in his career. Dropping in there for a strike, 1-1.
Back-to-back curveballs to start off Bautista from Barnes.
Line to left, Hanley coming in to make the catch on the line drive. Solid contract, but right in the neighborhood of Hanley Ramirez. 2 down.
That line shot off the bat of Bautista, but right at Ramirez. Basically just had to move in about 3 or 4 steps to his left and is able to make the catch. Bautista finally got his fastball, hit it hard, but right at Ramirez.
2 down for Encarnacion, who is 1 for 4, a single back in the 2nd inning. A cold start of this game gave up the 4 runs the Blue Jays have in his 6 innings of work. Tommy Lane a shutout 2/3 of an inning. Alexia Gondo in an inning and a third. Uehara an inning, all scoreless. That bounces in, ball 3. Imagine Encarnacion 3-0 here would have the green light. Carrera waiting on deck. Takes the strike. Thought he might have had ball 4.
And that's not the kind of pitch you want to swing at 3-0 when you do have the green light. You're looking for the ball middle in, something you can drive.
Line to left and a base hit for Encarnacion. A 2-out single to left.
Well, he did get a pitch middle plate and did put it on a line to left field. He put the runner at first base with 2 outs. Second hit of the day for Encarnacion.
So here is Carrera batting for the first time. And pinch run for Chris Colabello in the 8th inning. Lines it foul off to the left out of play. Up off the facade and back down again. Guerrero 1 for 1 with a double against Barnes. Popped up left side. Bogarts foul ground makes the catch that ends the top of the 10th. We enter the bottom of the 10th, tied 4-4. Just send a quick photo or video of your meal and share at Dining Playbook on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just hashtag TopNosh. Well, it's on to the bottom of the 10th inning back at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox and Blue Jays are all tied up 4-4. And it'll be Hanley Ramirez, David Ortiz, and Xander Bogaerts coming up. Hanley with a 2-hit day, singles to center, single to right. 1 for 1 in his career against Delabar. As Delabar back out there for the 10th after a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Swing and a miss. Those are the slider there. Chasing is Ramirez. R.A. Dickey went 6, Liam Hendricks 2, and now Delabar out there to begin his second inning of relief. Oh, and 2. On the ground, softly towards short. Reyes ranges in. His throw is going to be in time to get Hanley Ramirez for the first out here at the bottom of the 10th inning.
An excellent play by Reyes. He's one of the best in the business at making that play where he charges the ball, the quick release, and the throw to first base to get the out. Very quick from the glove to the throwing hand, and Ramirez busting it down the first base line, but not quite enough.
Well, Delabar is going to be done here as he gets the first out of the 10th inning after working the 9th. So an inning and a third for Delabar. We will. 4-4 the score with one out in the bottom of the 10th inning. Aaron Loup, the new lefty, in here to face David Ortiz. 28th appearance, 1-3. 22 strikeouts, only 3 walks. As Ortiz takes ball 1 in tight. 3 for 4 the double against Loup in his career. Ortiz with a swing and a miss, 1-1.
2 breaking balls and both inside for David Ortiz. Most of the time you see lefties throw that breaking ball away. It was supposed to be away, but it stayed in. But no contact for David.
Ball and 2 strikes. Xander Bogaerts on deck, 1 down here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Ortiz strikes out. Second out here of the 10th inning, and the first strikeout for Aaron Loup.
Yeah, the first time they elevated on Ortiz, it had been breaking balls in, a fastball down the middle, and then the fastball up in the zone for the strikeout.
So 2 down here for Xander Bogaerts. 1 for 4 day. Bogaerts with a single back in the 4th inning. Ground ball softly hit right side. Goins charging in, glove to glove for the out. That ends the 10th. We head for the 11th, tied up 4-4. On NESN.com. Well, a 4-4 game here to the 11th inning back at Fenway Park. Matt Barnes back on the mound here for the Red Sox. You'll see Russell Martin, Danny Valencia, and Kevin Pillar scheduled to bat in the inning for Toronto. Last run to score, the home run by David Ortiz to tie the game back in the 6th inning. Here we are in the 11th. And Martin coming up, a 1 for 4 day today for the Blue Jays catcher. Single back in the 2nd inning. For 2 against Barnes is Russell Martin. Barnes gave up a 2-out base hit to Encarnacion in the 10th inning, but was able to get Carrera to foul out to Bogaerts. Falls behind Martin, 2-0. Danny Valencia waiting on deck. Jays batting here in the 11th. In the air to deep left center field for Russell Martin. It is back and it is gone. Home run to left center field, his 10th home run of the year. And the Blue Jays break the tie here in the 11th inning on top 5-4.
Now, as a pitcher, when you fall behind 2 balls and no strikes, so you often pay the price. And that time Barnes behind 2-0 to Martin. Martin gets his fastball that he's looking for and takes it out of the ballpark. Here's the 2-0 pitch, middle in. Martin gives the Blue Jays the lead.
Third home run given up by Matt Barnes on the year. Now Valencia taking a hack and fouling it off to the right. Blue Jays trying to win their 10th game in a row, and they have taken a lead here in the 11th inning. Brett Cecil now the closer, preparing for the bottom of the 11th. Yankee, De Aza, and Castillo the scheduled batters in the inning. Valencia takes strike 2. Valencia pinch ran for Justin Smoke in the 9th inning, and batting for the first time today here in the 11th. Chopped it left side, and Bianchi can't get it. Bogaerts can, and he throws to first in time. Able to get Valencia as that play. Kind of a shield there for Bianchi on Bogaerts, but Bogaerts makes the play.
That's what makes the play so good for Rosander Bogaerts, because watch the third baseman Bianchi come across, and it goes right underneath his glove. Somehow Bogaerts is able to keep his eye on the baseball into his glove and then make the throw to first base.
One down here in the 11th, and it brings up Kevin Pillar. 2 for 4 in the game, both singles. A single to left in the second, single to center in the 4th inning. Bouncing in, 1-1. Russell Martin is giving the Blue Jays the lead as he gets his gear back on, getting ready for the bottom of the inning. On the ground to short. Bogaerts rounds in behind it and throws out Pillar for the second out of the inning. Extra innings are presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Blue Jays pulled ahead here in the top half of the 11th inning. Ryan Goins now coming up. Ground ball up the middle. Bogaerts has been busy in the inning. Makes the play again, but Russell Martin's home run has put the Blue Jays on top 5-4. Well, the Blue Jays have pulled ahead with a run in the top half of the 11th inning to lead it 5-4 thanks to the home run by Russell Martin. New pitcher on for the Jays, their closer Brett Cecil has only 3 saves, 3 out of 4 in save opportunities, makes his 23rd appearance of the year, 1-2, 3.26 earned run average, 23 strikeouts, 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .225 against a left-hander. Jeff Bianchi will lead it off here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 11th inning.
In the 11th inning, Martin on a 2-0 count gets a fastball from Barnes and takes it out of the ballpark for the 1-run lead as we stand right now. Martin starting the day off catching the knuckleball, and in his last at bat, the home run to put his club ahead.
That's his 10th home run of the year. Had 11 all of last year, and so far enjoying his stay with the Blue Jays. Here is Bianchi to get it started in the bottom of the 11th. He grounded out to second base in the 8th inning. Took over for Pablo Sandoval, left with quad tightness. Alejandro De Aza, then Rusney Castillo expected in the inning. Fouled at the dish, 1-2. Eleven in a row retired by Blue Jays pitching. The last base runner for the Red Sox came in the 7th inning, and it was a base hit by Hanley Ramirez. Remember, Red Sox had the bases loaded with 1 out in the 7th and could not score. Ortiz struck out. Bogart struck out. Ground ball right side to Goins for the first out of the 11th inning.
To me, Don, that's the key to this game right there in the 7th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out, and the Red Sox could not score.
Alejandro De Aza, 1 for 4 in his career against Brett Cecil. And a double back in the 6th inning. A 1 for 4 showing for the Red Sox right fielder today. Interesting to see Mike Napoli back in the lineup tomorrow for the Red Sox.
Or if the opportunity arose, would he pinch hit in this game today?
Very true. Two for 15 in his career against Brett Cecil. Pitch up high, and the count 2-1. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Garrett Austin with you for Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. We're in the midst of the 11th inning with the Blue Jays on top 5-4. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Slide at that time, breaking ball away from De Aza.
Rusney Castillo waiting on deck with 1 out in the 11th. Swing and a miss, and there are 2 outs in the 11th inning.
Let's go back to the 7th inning and take a look there with his 3 base hits in a row by the Red Sox. Pedroia, Holt, and Ramirez, bases loaded, and then the strikeout to David Ortiz gets him on a fastball away, and then a breaking ball right there to Xander Bogaerts. And things looked pretty pleasant for the Red Sox at that stage with the bases loaded, but could not score. That was back in the 7th inning.
2 down for Rusney Castillo. 0 for 4 today for Castillo. He's flied out twice to right and grounded out to third and to short. Ground ball, Cecil off the mound. He will fire to first, and that is the ball game. The Blue Jays win it in 11 innings, 5-4. And the Blue Jays have extended their winning streak to 10 games. The Red Sox, losing here today at the hands of the Blue Jays, have now lost 5 straight games, and the frustration continues as the Red Sox drop it 5-4. We send it outside and to Yawkey Way to Tom Caron. TC.